what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and of the free?
Thank you, Raina, for singing that so beautifully. Now let's take it trackside with Luggo the Lugnut for the command to start your engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Thank you, Luggo. Now we take it to our favorite pastor, Pastor Zach Woods, for today's virtual invocations.
Hello, and I am excited to offer today's invocation for the competition today. Before we dive into some Sim Raf Guy Cup Series action, let's spend a moment in prayer together, shall we? Let's pray together. Almighty God, I thank you for the opportunity to pray over the competition tonight, to pray over those who are in the booth, to pray over those who pour into so much time and effort to make this Cup Series go around. Lord, I thank you that you have blessed the competition with the means to come together under their shared passion of racing and competition tonight. Lord, we cannot do this honorably without your help. And so as tensions rise and maybe angers flare, I pray that you might bless the field with a sense of fairness, a spirit of calmness, and yet one that still spurs upon competition. We want to honor you with how we act and how we drive, how we broadcast, and how we show our passions this evening. And so, Lord, I pray that whether we are at a super speedway or a short track, an intermediate, or anywhere in between, oh Lord, wherever the setting might take us, let us race honorably. We ask of that blessing tonight. We ask that we might honor your name and who we are and how we race. And all the glory and the honor of tonight's broadcast goes to you. We thank you, God, for the opportunity to meet new friends, to share in passions of racing, and to make this time about you. In your Son's name we pray, in Christ's name. Amen. Thank you. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Good time zones, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Daytona International Speedway for Season 6 opener for the EOL Race Wrap Guys 325 right here at Daytona International Speedway. And we are getting ready already here to go green flag racing as we go ahead and catch up with the drivers as they come through turns 3 and 4. We're going to go ahead and run our starting lineup down at the bottom right here for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And while we're doing that, I'm going to take a brief moment and talk about a couple drivers here. For our grid walk, Trey Whitehead, no matter where he starts, he always finds his way to the front and stays there. Brock Whitehead always qualifies strongs, stays up front, and very aggressive. As the pace cars get ready to pull off here, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize about the quick start. But we are our green flag racing right here at Daytona International Speedway. Again, for round number 1 of the Race Wrap Guys Cup Series, presented by Top It Off Hot Sauce. as these drivers will climb up here into the bakings of turns 1 and 2. Already really great side-by-side racing, but that inside lane quickly making way as rookie Greg Wood in that number 67 goes ahead and quickly takes full control over this race here on the back straightaway. As these drivers will now head out of a turn number 4 here for the very first time. Christopher Darling, he is trying to make that run on the outside. One car already coming down. That's going to be Johnny Williams in that number 7 machine coming down pit road. Not exactly sure what is going on there, but these guys are going to go ahead and let him get clear and down on pit road nice and safe there. As you see, Greg Wood now walking up the track there. And I just want to top off on a couple other things as I was talking right before we went green. Chris Reese, he won the Crawford 325 last season. He stayed in the back all race long, avoiding wrecks, and he's looking to do it again here tonight in the Crawford 325 to go back to back. Chris Hubka, usually a mid-pack racer, but at super speedways, you want him pushing you. He is usually always up front, but luck has never been on his side, as he is hoping to see that change here today. Dalton McKinney won the fall race, usually a very strong candidate to win at any super speedway, so always look for Dalton McKinney coming up through the field. As we said, rookie Greg Wood won the pole, has the top speed, and can he stay up front as we continue to go ahead and make our way around the super speedway as that outside lane is trying to get formed. That 67, he is pushing Wood now. I'm sorry, that is the 67. As you see, he is now the third car on the outside lane. One car going up to try to get stopped, but that's the 21 of Tim Henderson. But no one stayed with him, so instead, Brett Bullard in that 12, he will go ahead and make that 3 wide. As you see that fourth car now in line, he was going to let that 21 up, but decided against it. And now these guys are going to go 3 wide down here on the back straightaway. But they go ahead and get themselves figured out. As that 16 of Tom Bourne decides he's going to thread the needle and go up the inside, and he's going to take over the top spot in that middle lane. But as of right now, he's got absolutely no help. As Wes Fuller in that number 35 machine, he's going to go ahead and continue to bring these drivers around. So far, these drivers doing a phenomenal job, and now they are quickly starting to get themselves single file. As these drivers do know, we have a whopping 325 miles to do right here at Daytona. And so it's a smart move for a lot of these drivers to go ahead and get down single file as they start making their way once again here through the tri-oval. And the pack is now being led once again by that number 35 machine of Wes Fuller out of Nebraska City, Nebraska. And we still got a couple drivers to that outside lane a little further on back here in the back. It looks like that 21 machine, he's going to be left out there to drive by Blake Powell, as he's going to go ahead and make his run on the inside, leave Henderson out to that top lane. As we have a couple drivers now trying to move right here on the outside. It's led by Christian Ruse, and now he's getting even more help as we have a couple more drivers now making their way back to that top side as they complete lap number 7 of today's event. While we are doing this really amazing green flag side-by-side racing, let's go ahead and take a look here at our rookies for the year. Greg Wood, Ryan White, Thad Teasley, Caleb Collins, Logan Gill, and Jay Hutchinson. All these drivers out here making their rookie season with EOL and Race Wrap Guy Cup Series. So we want to absolutely welcome all those guys here to EOL as we are starting to come down the back stretch for the 8th time here today. And so far, what was a very long single file lane has now turned into a side-by-side train coming up here through turns 3 and 4. And you see a couple drivers back in the back trying to make their way to the inside, not really wanting to move much of anywhere at the moment, as we go ahead and ride on board here with Christian Ruse in the number 14 on the outside here, looking to Tom Bourne, that number 16 machine. So these guys doing a phenomenal job so far here on this outside, trying to get that 3-car tandem to try to make it work somehow. And as of right now, they're pretty much hanging strong as they get another car up top. It looks like it's going to be that 92 machine of Ryan Catalano, as he is circling around the outside now in that 4th spot. So these guys out here trying to make something happen on the outside. And Ryan Catalano, he has joined up with Redline Racing Team. And right in front of him is Blake Howell with Titletown Racing. And in front of him, you have Christian Ruse for 1-3 speed. And then obviously you got that number 16 of Tom Bourne for RK Racing. As you see these drivers now circle coming out of turn number 4. Laps now in the book here at Daytona International Speedway, as you guys have been watching that outside lane slowly pick their way to the front, and it's all led by that number 51 machine of Matt Metler, trying to make something happen as he is getting a really good push back behind him, as we have one car dipping off the track there on the back straightaway. Not exactly sure what's going on with that, but you see that number 88 of Chris Otto right behind Matt Metler in that 51. these two drivers know each other and they draft very, very well together. So as you see, Otto getting a little bit sideways there out of the tri-oval as they climb back up here into the bakings in turn 1 and 2 once again as we're working lap at number 14. And right behind them is that number 32, I believe, of Matt Davies. Yep, that'll be Matt Davies right behind Chris Otto and that number 51 of Matt Mettler as they're starting to fall back here just a little bit among the race leaders. But no, here comes that outside lane now. Absolutely just piling up through the field as we are coming here to lap 15. Next time by here, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a moment of silence in remembrance of Greg Biffle, the driver of that number 16 that he made absolutely famous. And we're going to do that here on this very next lap. So we're going to take a moment of silence, and we hope that you guys do join us as we see actually that number 16 out front. So what a very interesting coincidence as they come out of turn number 4 and coming down to begin lap number 16. Lap 16 led by car number 16 of Tom Bourne. What a honor that must have been for Tom to lead lap number 16. Not by coincidence. I mean, I'm sorry, it was coincidence, or not coincidence, but just what a phenomenal drive for him to come all the way up 23 spots just to lead lap number 16. So that was actually pretty cool to see Tom get all the way up there in that RK Racing Chevrolet as they now will climb here through turns 3 and 4 back to the front straightaway. And it looks now that a lot of these drivers are pretty much now going to run single file here. And as I say that, of course, one car is going to step out of line as they are going to dive back here into turn number 1. And it looks like that's at number 19 of Blake Howell for Titletown Racing. He is going to try to make his way towards the front here as well. But as of right now, there is absolutely no one behind him. And this is definitely not what you want to see, as he does have an opening here, and he will go ahead and drop down right behind rookie Thad Teasley in that number 3 machine. As we continue to ride on board here with Blake as they come up here back into the tri-oval, into the start-finish line. And so far, all these drivers have been absolutely phenomenal. Definitely being very, very courteous of each other as these drivers make their way around this beautiful 2.5 mile super speedway right here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Just take a look at these drivers. Time being, Heading over to chat, Noah Owens. No one ever wants to run the top. Well, Noah, it is still very early on in this race as we are working lap number 20, so it's still a very good possibility that somebody may try to jump to that outside lane. But as of right now, early on in this race, everybody is going to be content running single file. Let's jump back up back here for just a moment and catch up here with Brock Whitehead in that number 31 machine. So let's go ahead and jump over to Trey Whitehead in that number 23 machine. We briefly spoke about him right at the start of this race. So far, he hasn't gone up through the field like he normally has. He's very well known for making his way to the front and staying there, but right now, Trey Whitewood in the number 23 machine seems like he is having a lot of trouble. So that should be Trey Whitehead. I don't know why it changed on me again. Let me go ahead and quickly make that change here. Trey, don't kill me, buddy. I know we talked about this already. You guys are going to hear a little ping, possibly, because I'm going to save this again. I don't know why it keeps doing that to me, but we're going to go ahead and get that updated right there. Turn it back on. Of course, it's not going to update for me. Of course not. Oh, look, we don't want to see that starting grid all over again. Fine. Go ahead and get that taken off here. I'll apologize about that. There we go. And it has fully updated. Thank you. Again, Trey, sorry about that, buddy. I owe you one. Sarah says, go Matt. As these drivers continue to pace around this 2.5 mile racetrack, still running pretty much single file as they have for probably about the last 6 or 7 laps now, I want to say. As they are trying to bide their time currently, as we're only coming to lap 25, so we're just a few laps away now from our 1/4 mark. So these guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I believe, before I give out the wrong information, let's go ahead and come back here and take a look. These guys are running 75% fuel, so their fuel window will actually start coming up here probably within the next 5 or 6 laps. So sometime between now and about lap 32, we should start seeing some of these drivers dive down here onto pit road, as Tom Bourne, he continues to lead in that number 16 machine. As we have a few drivers back here at the back kind of going all crazy back here. Here they are. Being led by Zach Woods in that number 60 machine. Up top, he is actually pulling away from Cameron Coster in that number 2 machine. So Cameron, he's going to go ahead and pull down behind that 67 of Greg Wood. Your pole... the guy who started out on the pole. So very interesting to see Greg all the way back here at the back already early on in this race, but we have a few more drivers starting to make their way to the top, and up here in the front, Matt Mettler in that number 51. Sorry, that was the 11 or 88 machine of Chris Otto. He's making a run now to the outside, as he's now getting on to the outside here of the 16, but not able to do anything with it, just with the 3 of them, as these guys are going to pick up the lap down car of Mark Gonzalez, and that's the number 5 of Chris Hupka directly in front of him. So definitely not what Chris Hupka and Mark Gonzalez both wanted to see early on, is having these issues and already getting ready to fall one lap down. As I'm assuming something happened to them and they lost the draft, but back here we do have a 3-pack run back here, being led by that 62 machine of Chris Reese. Cliff Corribu is back there as well, along with Luna Albright. So these 3 drivers are trying to keep themselves a single file, as we're going to jump back up here to our race leaders as they make their way through turns 1 and 2 back down the back straightaway. So I believe that fuel window for these drivers, especially for Tom Bourne in that 16, is going to start to open, as he is probably full throttle all the way around this speedway. So these drivers here soon should be starting to start making their way down pit road. So we're going to keep our eyes on that here, ladies and gentlemen, and as we continue to see a small break here between your front runners, it's not too terribly big, so there's still a very good strong possibility that they can get sucked up right back behind them. But for right now, all of these cars in this front pack are going to be running single file. Like all the way back here to that 25th spot of that number 60 machine of Zach Woods, and then everybody else is starting to gain up here as well. So these guys are doing everything they can to try to make something happen, and we're anticipating some pit stops happening here very, very soon. That's something that all these drivers are going to want to be very, very cautious of, as they try to slow these machines from just around 200 miles an hour all the way down to that pit road speed of 55. So that's something all these drivers also have on the back of their mind is, you know, how many cars are going to come down with them, and if that's the case, as we do have a couple drivers now making their way down here onto pit road, being led here by Matt Mettler and company. So your pit stops now are beginning here at Daytona. I just realized that it says qualifying when it is in fact not qualifying. Back to Crawford 325, and really good race here down on pit road. A couple cars up on that yellow line. That was that number 92 of Ryan Catalano, as we have our next set of drivers coming in, and the 8 car is around here on pit road. Oh man, so that's a really tough break for that number 8. Let's see if I can find out who that was. Matt Davies. And let's come back here. see if we can find out who that was. I'm going to have to do something I really don't like doing, but we're going to come all the way back to these guys when they first entered pits. Yeah, so it's going to be that number 8 machine. He got sideways, that 32 out in the grass there as well. Still not exactly sure who's in that number 8 machine, but definitely not what he definitely did not want to see happen. And let's see. As of right now, nobody's gotten any sort of penalty for that one, but we are going to be under caution here now, so it's going to be for Tom Bourne. There he is, that number 16. Let's come back here, take a look, see what happened here. Yeah, so he was just coming back out after his pit stall, lost it out of turn 2 into the outside wall, and he is sitting on track, and that's going to cause the caution to come out right there. As you see, a lot of drivers really good heads-up driving as Tom Bourne tries to get that number 16 facing the correct direction here. My internet issues caused me to dip out. Oh no. Kid Nice, are you Johnny Williams or CJ Papa? Or I know he said it wasn't like Papa. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get with CJ on that. Alrighty, so the 16 machine, Tom Bourne having issues while we are under this caution here, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to go ahead and do a couple shout outs here to our amazing sponsors. First up, Top It Off Hot Sauce Company. Promo code EOL15 gives you 15% off your entire order. Limit 1 use per customer at topitoffsauce.com. You guys try their hot sauce. It is absolutely amazing. I tried their raspberry, it was habanero hot sauce. It was really, really good. So definitely go over there, take a look, and try that off. And we would also like to give a big point out to our Top It Off Racing family, consisting of Dalton McKinney, Peyton Holland, Logan Gill, Charles Childress, Tyler Bentley, and Christian Ruse. Thank you, thank all 6 of you for joining the Top It Off Racing family. Alrighty, so let me see if I'm not mistaken here. Your lap or your lucky dog for this caution is going to be Cliff Corriveau in that number 83 machine. So this is going to be your weltsclothing.com lucky dog. And for whatever driver gets a lucky dog and finishes on the lead lap in a race this season, will be entered into a drawing at the end of the season for some amazing Welts Clothing apparel. So you get a little incentive if you are a lucky dog and finish on the lead lap every race that you do go a lap down and get the lucky dog. So your first candidate, I believe, is going to be Cliff Corriveau Jr. in that number 83 machine. As he's going to go ahead and bring his Chevrolet down pit road to get service. And I believe we just got the 1 to go signal. And so we're going to go ahead and double up these guys, and we're going to do it all over again right here at Daytona. And out front right now, it's Matt Mettler, Trey Whitehead, Peyton Holland, Brock Whitehead, Thad Teasley, Ryan White, Justin Hutchinson, Jeffrey Kleinsma, Chris Otto, and Christopher Darling will round out your top 10 and your front 5. Ladies and gentlemen, your green flags for this season is presented by Milwaukee. Head over to MilwaukeeTools.com for all of your tool needs. Your white flag is going to be from the one, the only Crawford. And your yellow flag is presented by Muffler Man. So if you ever need any work on your mufflers, just contact Muffler Man. They will get you all hooked up and get your car running nice and beautiful once again. As the field will come out of turn number 4 back to the trioval into the United Rentals restart zone. And green flag will wave once again, presented by Milwaukee, as Matt Mettler will go ahead and lead the field here to the green flag. Currently nice and easy here, as the caution will quickly come back out for Adam Stewart in that number 4 machine. Not exactly sure what happened here, but just coming up here. Oh, big stack up on that inside. As not only the 4 went around that number 5 machine, also of Chris Hubka, he ended up going around as well. And as long as the 16 wasn't involved in that checkup. Let's see. Oh yeah, so he's actually out there on that inside, or that outside lane. Yeah, so he's gonna be all clear here. And see here. I don't want to jump to conclusions. However, I think it's going to be safe to say that Tom Bourne in that number 16 will indeed be your lucky dog. So the whole entire field is going to come back down pit road here once again. Tom Bourne, he is going to stay out. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Your weltsclothing.com lucky dog of caution number 2 goes to Tom Bourne in that number 16 machine. He's rocking out that Genesis paint scheme right there. You know, something we really don't point out is, man, some of these beautiful paint schemes that these drivers have. As he's going to go ahead and circle it around, come back down pit road. So there's that number 51. Thad Teasley. Let's actually try to find a better view. Justin Hutchinson. Tier 1 setupshop.com machine for Brett Bullard. Ryan Catalano in that number 92 machine. Benfield Pet Hospital for the number 23 of Trey Whitehead. Brock Whitehead. Travels by JD Toyota. That Kickstart Mountain Dew machine of Jeffrey Kleinsma. Peyton Holland in that number 18 Ghost machine. We'll allow them to go ahead and circle back around here before we move on to the next driver. Race wrap guy number 11, Christopher Darling. Chris Otto in that number 88 Red Line Racing machine. As it looks like we are going to go ahead and double up here to Comeback Green Flag Racing. Christian Ruse in that grind number 14 machine. We'll try to run through these a little quicker so that we can get a really good look at all of them. And for everybody out in chat, go ahead and throw out what paint scheme you like the most. What number you like. A lot of really beautiful paint schemes here today. Got that number 25. A lot of cars are moving here at the moment, so forgive me. Alrighty. And that's going to be it for everybody. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready and go green flag racing. But this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to turn it up. So get ready to crank your speakers all the way up. And once that logo disappears that says turn it up, you're going to turn it back down. As we're going to go back green flag, and we are going to turn it up this time. But a phenomenal restart all around this speedway. As we have trouble now out of turn number 4, the 17 of Luna Albright involved here, along with Caleb, or I'm sorry, not Caleb Collins. Who is that back there with her? Mark Gonzalez in that number 8 machine having issues as well, as those drivers will go ahead and leave the scene of the crime. But let's go back, take a look, see what happened on the exit of turn number 4. Looks like that 8 machine just absolutely got sideways, nowhere for a couple of those other drivers to go. And it just seems like the 17 and the 8 machine both got the worst of it here. Let's come back here and take one more quick look at it. So he actually got up in the wall, got turned down right in front of that 40 machine. The 21 machine got around there. The 12 of Brett Bullard, I believe he got involved in this one here as well. So very unfortunate for a couple of these drivers back here in the back. So these drivers, they do have one fast repair here at super speedways and super speedways only. So you can afford to tear up your car one time, but after that, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to tear it up anymore. And it's going to be very interesting now, as the first car one lap down here will be Caleb Collins in that number 72 machine. And we're about to find out. Are they going to be the WaltzClothing.com lucky dog driver this time by? And yes, in fact, he will be. So Caleb Collins in that number 72 AW Workshop Chevrolet, he will go ahead and bring his machine back on to the lead lap with the rest of these leaders. So just remember, you stay on the lead lap the rest of the race. Finish the race on the lead lap. You will be entered into a drawing. So as of right now, yeah, everything looks pretty good for a lot of these drivers. So as we jump back up here, take a look here at our top 3. Blake Howell in that number 19 will be sitting in that 3rd spot. That 67 of Greg Wood. If you'd like to sponsor Greg, you could probably reach out to him. Offer him up a little bit of mula. He might throw your company on that race car. And Chris Otto in that number 88 machine for Hubcom Motorsports. Currently running first. Doing a phenomenal job in that Redline Racing Network machine. Let's take a look here in chat. Sorry, I kind of neglected chat here this last little short run here. All right. So Johnny Williams, your kid, nice Johnny, in that number 7 Chevrolet. Unfortunately, having some internet issues. Nicholas Schaefer, he's got $500 on that number 32 machine of Matt Davies. So if anybody wants to up him in his betting, right here on the ICAST Racing Network, get with Nicholas Schaefer. He's got 500 on that 32 machine. Patrick McQuaid in that number 77 machine, getting a big shout out there by K Todd. Can we have the places back? I don't think so. You can have them back, but you got to work for them. And what place is McQuaid in? McQuaid, he is currently sitting in that 10th spot at the moment. Patrick McQuaid out of Nelsonville, Ohio. Sponsored by the Muffler Man. The Muffler Man. The Muffler Man. Sorry. I couldn't help myself. But we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen, here at Daytona International Speedway. As we are getting ready to drop this pace car off back down pit road. Chris Otto, Greg Wood, and that number 67 will bring him back to the green flag. And we are green flag racing here once again at Daytona International Speedway. A really good jump there by Chris Otto. Blake Howell, he was able to go ahead and sneak by Greg Wood as well on that inside lane. But now Wood has company out from that number 23 machine of Trey Whitehead as they climb up through the bankings once again of turns 1 and 2. And out of turn number 2, they will go ahead and run side by side, top and bottom, as that outside lane is trying to make a good run here. Blake Howell in that number 19 machine, he's gotten it right in front of Chris Otto. He can drop down if he wants it, but as of right now, he's going to stick up top right with Greg Wood and Greg Wood and Trey Whitehead, as now those 2-3 drivers will now go ahead and jump down in front of Chris Otto, and that's going to put, I believe that's Thad Teasley in that number 33 machine. No, that's the number 10 machine, Justin Hutchinson to the outside. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, I am still learning the drivers of this series, but I am doing the best I can to recognize all the paint schemes and all the names and everything. As you see, Trey Whitehead trying to make a run on the outside here in that number 23 machine. Not able to do anything with it, and Chris Otto, he's going to go ahead and close up that hole. And that's going to bring the outside lane, led by Justin Hutchinson, to the back bumper here of Trey Whitehead. And they are going to line up, and these guys are going to try, as we have trouble on the front straightaway. One car across. Oh, wait. Hold it. Let's get away from the crash scene. Justin Hutchinson in that number 10 machine involved in this one. Brock Whitehead involved as well. And I know a couple others were involved. I'm going to do the best I can to show you. But just about the time that they decided to crash, something that I'm very familiar with, for some odd reason, decides to just go haywire on me. Yeah, you don't really get to see too much of it, but it looks like, for the most part that I can see, everybody does come away unscathed. So a lot of lucky drivers there. That could have been a lot worse, but unfortunately Patrick McQuaid in that 77, he was one of the drivers involved. He fell all the way back to that 32nd position. And I believe trying to see who the first car one lap down is. That might be Hubka. So it's going to be very interesting to see who does get the lucky dog for this caution. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this beautiful looking logo back on top as I go and just come in here and make a couple minor adjustments. Because once in a blue moon that will happen to me. Not sure why it does, but it will. But I can just make a couple really quick adjustments here, and I can usually get it to fix. All right, so that should do it. As we are going to come back. And yes, Chris Hubka is going to be your weltsclothing.com lucky dog driver this time. So he's going to go ahead and come back around and now race to get his name added early on into the drawing for being one of the drivers to finish on the lead lap. So that's one of the incentives here. So he's going to go ahead and bring his machine out of turn number 4 down here to pit road. And so this is really good here for Chris Hubka in that number 5 Crawford machine. So he's going to go ahead and come catch up with the field. And while we're under this caution, let's go ahead and take a look once again here at your Top It Off Racing family. Dalton McKinney, he is currently in that 20th spot. Peyton Holland back in that 17th spot. Logan Gill, I believe he's actually not here today. Charles Childress, I believe I saw Charles earlier today. There he is. He's up there in that 8th spot at the moment. Tyler Bentley. Tyler, where you at? I know I saw your name earlier. There you are. He's back in that 23rd spot. And Christian Ruse, he is up there in that 12th spot. So right now, out of your Top It Off Racing family, Charles Childress in that number 24 machine, he is going to be your highest running Top It Off Racing family driver. So definitely very interesting to see what that driver, that number 24, Charles Childress, can do. Oh, I forgot to get rid of that logo. My bad, guys. Go ahead and get that turned off. But Charles Childress running with Broken Arrow. But we are now single file, getting ready to go green flag racing. And I don't think I ever actually said it earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, but I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth. Welcome to Racers Elite Network, powered by iRacing. And your cams that you get to see today is going to be presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. Whiplash Sim Cams gives you all these beautiful views. Absolutely love it. The best thing that I could have done for my channel, as we are going to go back green flag racing. Fred will bring the pace car back down, and Barney will wave that green flag here once again, presented by Milwaukee, as that inside lane had a little bit of trouble with that, I believe it's that 32, and Matt Davies having trouble starting to get up through the gears, as that inside lane just does not get going. But Now they will go ahead and get themselves wound up through the gears here, and they're going to go ahead and start to pull themselves back up here to the front drivers up here, as they will go ahead and latch themselves on, as we have Trey Whitehead in that number 23 getting clear of that 62 of Chris Reese, and he will go ahead and drop down and leave Greg Wood all to himself with that number 19 of Blake Howell out to that outside here as well. And now these drivers are going to run side by side across the start finish line here to start lap number 54. Oof. Alright, so I have a few things up apparently that I shouldn't. So let me scavenge this out. But ladies and gentlemen, as of right now, we've got some very beautiful, amazing racing right here on Racers Elite Network. Out front, Trey Whitehead, followed by Chris Reese. Matt Mittler in that number 51, very strong out here today. But the strongest driver out here today is going to be Chris Reese right now in that number 62 machine, running second, as he has gained 35 spots since we went green flag racing today. So that is absolutely phenomenal start. I believe that put him just about that 37th starting position. So what a yeah, 37th. So what a very good run here for Chris Reese. He's doing a phenomenal job keeping that car out front at the moment, as we will complete lap 55, come to lap 56. And these drivers are still running side by side, and Greg Wood on that outside lane still not able to make anything happen, as that outside lane just cannot get wound up like they were early on in this race. So it seems like right now that inside lane is definitely going to be the lane that you want to be in. So it's only going to be a matter of time before you're going to start making shoving your way down into that bottom lane. But as of right now, you do got a good 15 drivers behind you, you know, holding on for dear life as they come around turns 3 and 4 back to the front straightaway. It looks like Greg Wood is still continuing to fall back, currently sitting in that 9th spot, flirting with 10th, with Christopher Darling to his inside. So they're not really making up much progress on that outside lane. They're actually continuing to fall somewhat back a little bit. But now, as I say that, of course, they're going to start making a run here as Greg Wood gets around Charles Whitehead. But here comes Charles Whitehead right back to him in that draft. So it's absolutely amazing what this draft can do, as we have some movement up here in the front. Not sure if that was on accident, but just a little bit of movement up here with Chris Otto and Matt Mettler. I just want to take a quick moment here, guys, and I'm going to zoom in here on these front couple of drivers. That doesn't do it there. That just doesn't do it justice. Let's come to this one here. Okay, red line. Top it off with that number 87 of Noah Jackson. So, I mean, you got two Red Line Racing Network drivers out front here. But they have also got a couple other drivers here as well. They're just slowly trying to make their way back up here to the front. So you guys just give it some time before those Red Line Racing Network drivers will get all together. They share the same sponsor. I don't think most of them are on the same team. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they're going to go with their own personal teammates or if they're going to go with their same sponsors. So that's definitely going to be something very interesting to watch. Oh, we do have another caution, and I am starting to glitch out here. This is going to be for Luna Albright, Dalton McKenney possibly involved in this one, I think. No, it just might be just for Luna Albright. What I think I might need to do is I might need to restart the sim. So we're going to take a very quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will get them all wrapped up and start it all over again. So just stand by, guys. I'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway for Season 6, Round Number 1 of the Race Wrap Guys Cup Series, presented by eSports Oval League, right here on the iCast Racing Network. I'm Mike Taylor up here in the booth once again, still along for the ride as we're coming around to just about 70 laps to go. I'm sorry, about 68 laps to go this time by. As you see, Matt Mittler in that number 51 machine is going to bring this field back to the green flag here once again. And, you know, once again, I would like to give a little bit of a shout out here to our flag sponsors on our green flag, Milwaukee Tools. Crawford will be on your white flag this season. And the Muffler Man, yes, the Muffler Man, he will be on your yellow flags here when they do wave this season. Our lucky dog is presented by Waltz Clothing. So head over to waltzclothing.com for all of your clothing needs. And this series is also sponsored by Top It Off Hot Sauce. Just head over to Top It Off. Whoops. Right there, Top It Off sauce.com for all of your hot sauce needs. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely good, as we are going to go ahead and bring the pace car back down. Matt Mittler, Chris Otto will bring back the field to the green flag once again here at Daytona, as those two drivers will, neither one really going to get a much good lead here, as Chris Otto, he is hanging strong on that outside, but Chris Reese, he is hanging back just a little bit here on Chris Otto, and so that's going to allow Noah Jackson in that number 87 machine to be able to push Mittler out completely in front of Otto. And now that's going to bring Matt Mittler still down to the inside. But here comes Otto now fighting back to the outside lane. So these drivers are still trying to get these cars wound up to 100% as they will climb up the banking here. And if I'm not mistaken, Charles Childress might have been your lucky dog this last time by, but don't hold me to that. But right now, this race is in the hands of that 88 of Chris Otto, followed by Matt Mittler on the inside there, and Noah Jackson in that 87, as that outside lane once again is starting to fall back. As you guys can see, that outside lane is not really forming up very well, and so that could actually very well hurt that outside lane if they do not get that outside lane to work as it should. With Chris Reese and that 33 of Thad Teasley, as you see the 25 there of Ryland Facanato bring it off. And Charles Childress, he is down on the inside, making a lot of people slow up, as we still have more carnage back here on the back straightaway. Tim Henderson, he's going to come down pit road. Ryan, no, who is that back there? There it is, Mark Gonzalez in that 8 machine having some issues as well. So not exactly sure what happened back there, but let's go ahead and come back here and take a look, see what happened. As these drivers, ooh. All right, so it started off. No, it started off actually in front of these guys. So let me see if I can pinpoint. Oh, it started off here with the 60. Ah, yeah, so it did start off here with the 60 machine and company. So that 60, that 40, and the 10 were going 3 wide. The 40 did try to clear himself. He was not cleared. That caused the 40 to come down completely in front of Woods and shoot right back up the racetrack here. That 2 machine there as well having issues. That's a Cameron Coster hard into the outside wall there. That 21 machine had absolutely nowhere to go. As Zach Woods, he was able to completely save it and then just amongst all the checkup and everything, Mark Gonzalez having issues. We had one driver, the 24 of Charles Childress, all the way down to the inside, and look at that hit from that that number 2 machine took of Cameron Coster from the 46 machine of Dalton McKinney. So definitely quite a few hard hits in this caution here. Excuse me, guys. But it looks like as of right now, the first car 1 lap down is going to be that number 16 machine, but he is coming down. No, he's staying out. We do have 2 drivers that did stay out. Tom Bourne. He will be your weltsclothing.com Lucky Dog driver for caution number 7. So he's going to make his way back around this speedway. Tom Bourne had a very good, strong run at the beginning of this race. Made his way all the way from the back to the front. Started back at that 24th lap. By lap 15, he took over the race lead and led lap number 16 in his number 16 machine. But unfortunately, he has have been having a little bit of struggles since then, but he's looking to get that all changed now that he's got in the Lucky Dog position. And now he will be back here on the lead lap. So, really good job, or lucky break there for that number 16 of Tom Bourne. All right, thank you for the chart. Absolutely. Let's go number 46 and 25 of Southern Grit Motorsports. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the first up. Driver number 25 of Rylan Facanato. He's currently up in that 8th spot. And the 46 machine. Dalton McKinney currently back in that 32nd position. Yeah, it does look like he is currently 1 lap down at the moment, so he's going to have to fall back here to the end of the field. So definitely very unfortunate there for him, but that should put him right up there in contention for the Lucky Dog position. If he can get around, looks like, yeah, if he can, as long as he can get around Cameron Coster, Tim Henderson, stay out of trouble, he could very well get the Lucky Dog on this next caution if we were to get one. Alrighty, that pace car is off, and it is now in the hands of Greg Wood, Blake Howell. We are green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway for the Crawford 325. As these drivers will go ahead and make their way back towards the high banks of turns 1 and 2. As we are working lap number 69 now, these drivers are absolutely giving it all they've got now here in the closing laps. As we are coming to just about 60 laps to go here in just a couple of laps. So we've got a really good long race left here for you guys, so don't go anywhere. But as of right now, Greg Wood in that number 67 machine back out front. And let's see what these drivers can do as that outside lane is starting to slowly form with Blake Howell to the outside. Followed by, I believe that's Rylan Catalano. Rylan Facanato to the outside there. Trying to give him some help along with Blake Howell. That 87 machine of Noah Jackson, he leaves Greg Wood to the inside, and he's going to try to take over the race lead here out of turn number 2. What a really good push here by Blake Howell. They both will get clear, but Blake, he will drop down to the inside of Noah Jackson, and he's going to look over to take over the race lead here in turns 3 and 4. But Facanato in that number 25 machine, he is holding very strong to that back bumper of Noah Jackson, as he's going to try to do everything he can to push Facanato out to that race lead. But as of right now, he's not able to do anything with it, as they will get ready to climb back up here into turns 3 and 4. Once again, 60 laps to go here at Daytona. We still got a very, very long way to go. We still have, I believe, at least two full gas tanks and a small short run, I believe, at the end, if these drivers can somehow manage to pull it off. As I believe these drivers can go just about 31, maybe 32 laps, except your race leaders, as you know, the ones that are in front of these lines, they are full throttle, so those guys are definitely using up a lot of fuel being out front. So everybody else is trying to save, and they could possibly make it on just one more pit stop. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all this will play out. And I think it's also going to come down to how our cautions will play out near the end of this race. Because once we get down to the last 20 laps or so, these drivers absolutely start to go crazy. And trust me, I know this from experience. That is what exactly us iRacers do. So it's definitely going to be a very interesting 20 laps. But first, we got to get through the first 40 laps here so that we can even get there. So as of right now, Blake Howell, he will lead the field to lap 73. And that outside lane still not making any progress. Jumping back here through the field just a little bit. Let's come back here to that number 32 of Matt Davies. Oh, we do have a caution. The 8 machine here is around. That is Mark Gonzalez. Oh, we have a couple more drivers around. The 31 machine of Brock Whitehead here involved. The 40 of Charles Whitehead. Charles Childress is involved in this one in that number 24 machine. So definitely not what a lot of these drivers were wanting to see here. So let's go ahead and go back, take a look, see what happened to bring out this latest caution. So that 8 machine just drifted up, and the 40 tried to take the hole, but it was not there, and those two drivers will go out to that inside, or that outside wall. Dalton McKinney, he was, might have been able to get clear, but I'm not 100% sure, you know, if he was able to fully clear him without getting contact. So ultimately, that's going to be one of the biggest questions as we see Charles Whitehead trying to hold on, coming out of turn number 2 there in that number 31 machine. He's getting loose down here, trying to avoid him off the the banking there. And that number 24 machine, also Charles Childress, he will make contact with that inside wall. So hopefully he didn't get too much damage here for that one. So very unfortunate there for those drivers. But let's go ahead and ride on board here with Brock Whitehead to see what he saw when they came out of turn 2 here. Yeah, so you guys could just see that transition right there is just, it's really tough to keep your car, moving in the right direction here. Let's go on board here now with the 24 machine of Charles Childress to see what he saw. Again, just that transition down onto the apron absolutely just caused him to go sideways, and he did get into the wall there. And let's ride on board with one more driver that number 40 machine of Charles. I'm sorry. Yeah, Charles Whitehead. So that 8 machine just quickly checked up Mark Gonzalez, and Whitehead he was just there, had not much he could do there, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and come back live. Yes, let's see. Don't think we had a lucky dog this time. While we're also under this 8th caution of the day, I would like to give a little shout out to our pace car driver, Fred. He's been driving this pace car since 2008. You know, he has never really missed a day in his life. He's been at work since 2008, every single day. So, big shout out here to our pace car driver. I'd also like to give a shout out to the one, the only Barney up here in our flag stand. Barney right there in the upper part of your screen. He's also been employed by iRacing since 2008, never missed a day also. He works every day, 7 days a week. 24 hours, 7 days. They do get a break just about every 13 weeks. And then whenever we need to do patch-ups here on iRacing, they'll get a little break there as well for a couple hours. But man, let me tell you what, these are two of the hardest working men I ever seen in my entire life. So big kudos to Fred and Barney. All right, Jeffrey Kleinsma, Christian Ruse, These drivers will bring the field back into the United Rental restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again, presented by Milwaukee. And what a jump for Kleinsma and Bourne right out front. Tom Bourne, just a couple cautions ago, he was looking to get back on the lead lap, but here he is looking to take over the race lead with 54 laps to go, as these drivers will come now out of turn number 2. That outside lane is quickly dissipating towards the back. They really need to try to figure something out on that outside lane, as they do get help from Christopher Darling in that number 11 machine, as he is now running up, that number 19 machine of Blake Howell. As these drivers are now starting to slowly make their way now back to the front and to the side of Tom Bourne and Jeff Kleinsma, and they will take over the race lead on that outside lane. So let's see if that inside lane will have an answer here coming out of turn number 2. But so far, that top 3 up front are going to stay to that high side. But no, there goes one driver, 2 drivers to the inside. That's going to leave Blake Howell all alone to that outside lane, as he's looking to try to fill that hole, but not able to do it, as he's going to get picked up here by that number 67 machine of Greg Wood on that outside lane. He's looking to try to get that outside lane moving back towards the front of this field, but as right now they kind of stalled out right back at that 4th position back there with Tom Bourne in the 16 machine. So slowly but surely they're trying to make their way back up, and here they come now alongside Jeffrey Kleinsma as they climbed up here through turns 1 and 2. But as right now both lines are absolutely moving. This is pretty much looking like a 200-mile-an-hour pace lap, as they are looking to take over the race lead on that outside lane. Here comes Blake Howell in that number 19. He's able to get him cleared. And here's that 67 machine of Greg Wood. He's looking to get himself clear here. And he will, and he'll get down into that inside lane. Greg Wood, for his glory number 67 Toyota, making his way back up into that 2nd spot. You know, I thought there was no sponsors on that race car at the start of this race, and I think when I reloaded back into the sim, it kind of refreshed everybody's paint scheme again on me. And now we're looking at a Christian for his glory paint scheme. But that outside lane, Caleb Collins in that number 72 machine, he will now take over that top spot. And right behind him, Patrick McQuaid in that number 77. He's coming up here to take over that 2nd spot in that Muffler Man Chevrolet. Now that outside lane is starting to come to life with Patrick McQuaid getting pushed by that number 67 of Greg Wood, not able to make anything happen, as Caleb Collins at that 72, he will continue to pace around this speedway, as Blake Howell will push him out to that lead. Still great side-by-side racing up here, as we have one driver, I believe that's Matt Mettler in that 51 machine, continuing to experience some radio connectivity issues. But we are coming around less than 50 laps to go now, 48 when we come back to the line. Things are starting to get intense here at Daytona. Time is starting to tick away for a lot of these drivers, as we are now looking at a 3-wide situation back here in the back, as they will climb up through the bankings here in the tri-oval. Trey Whitehead is not having that kind of a day he was hoping for when the green flag waved earlier in the day, as they will come flying down the back straightaway, still running side by side. So he's struggling to try to get that number 23 back towards the front of this field. Another driver that I've been watching that hasn't had much luck here either, and that's Charles Whitehead in that number 40 machine. You know, he's been struggling a little bit here as well. Along with Brock Whitehead in that number 31. He's actually all the way back here in this 3-car tango, back in this 30th position. So Brock having an absolute day that he's just not used to. So he's still trying to see what these three can do to get back. But just with these three drivers, I don't think they can get back to the race lead. And talk about the race lead, we're coming back up here to catch up with Patrick McQuaid on that outside lane, being pushed by Greg Wood still. But they're just having a little bit of a tough time here trying to get that outside lane cruising again, as they do make up a little bit of ground, but they will absolutely just lose it in these corners. So these guys got to try to do a little something different, as there's a little tap. That 77 gets shoved up into the outside lane. He's going to fall back, and who knows how far he will fall back before he can get back in line. But as of right now, he is dropping, and he is dropping absolutely wicked fast. As you guys see here, he's finally able to try to get down here right behind that number 10 machine of Justin Hutchinson. Now he's got to get his car back to full song in order to regain all that track position that you see right here in front of him. So definitely not what Patrick McQuaid in that number 77 wanted. But now out here, Greg Wood, he's leading that outside lane. Right now, Greg Wood getting pushed by that number. I don't want to give out the wrong number here, but yeah, that number 32 of Matt Davies. He's getting a really good push here, and these two are actually starting to make traction on your race leaders. So it is very well possible that McQuaid was actually slowing that outside lane down, as they are putting, I believe that's the 46 there of Dalton. No, I'm sorry. That's, yeah, that's Luna Albright. He's falling all the way back, going another lap down. Oh, we have huge trouble here on the back straightaway. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 cars around. Matt Davies is involved. Trey Whitehead involved here as well. Luna Albright comes to a complete stop. Not sure if they were involved here or not. And Noah Jackson in that number 87 machine here involved as well. So let's go back here, take a look, and see what happened here on the back straightaway here at Daytona. Coming out of turn number 2, just a couple cars getting into it. The 32's quickly around that number 23 machine, Trey Whitehead. He quickly went around, and that just kind of got about 1, 2, 3, 4 other cars here involved as well. As you see that number 87 machine of Noah Jackson getting looped around here. As you see him sliding in. I think I saw another driver. Oh, yeah, hard contact there for that 40 machine of Charles Whitehead into that 32 machine. So let's come back here, take a look once again. So we see that 32 machine, Matt Davies. He's heading down towards that inside wall. Hold on to it, Matt. Hold on to it. Still going. And contact. Unfortunate there. And Luna Albright in that number 17 machine was holding on for absolute dear life. We got to go, and we're going to go right on board with Luna here in that number 17 machine. Oh, which camera was it? Here it is. And let's see this full speed. I don't think Luna made any contact with anybody here. So let's see what happens here and see the smoke, and just absolutely gets that car wound down. That right there is really good heads-up driving by Luna Albright. That is definitely one of the best wreck avoidances that I have seen in a very long time. That was wicked. Really good driving there once again by Luna Albright. Matt Davies was involved in this one. Dalton McKinney looking to get the wave by, not the lucky dog. I'm not sure if anybody here actually got the lucky dog this time through. But Dalton McKinney, he's currently in front of the pace car, along with Mark Gonzalez for RK Racing. Yeah, so I believe those two drivers here, they will get the wave by, but it's not going to be the lucky dog. But definitely a good thing here for Dalton McKinney and Mark Gonzalez. It just makes it so that they can't pit next time by. But yeah, you can't really complain about that. You get yourself back onto the lead lap. Alrighty, as those two drivers will get their wave by, we're going to pick up Adam Stewart in that number 4 machine for the weltsclothing.com company. Welts Clothing, they are sponsoring our lucky dog for the season. So make sure you guys go check out weltsclothing.com. Also, go check out Top It Off Hot Sauce Company for 15% discount off your entire order. Use the promo code EOL15. One limit use per customer at topitoffsauce.com. Definitely give them a shot. All their sauces are just about $10. And take 10% off of that. You really can't beat that deal. So definitely go check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Really good sauce. We are going to come back here, catch up here with our race leaders, Adam Stewart, Tyler Bentley. We're going to have a 40-lap shootout here. So, we've got... yeah, we've got the final 100 miles here. Before we get to the to the checkered flag, these guys will have to pit at least one more time. So the big question we're going to have for these drivers is, how far are you willing to go before you need to come down for your final little splash and go? But as of right now, time will tell, as the green flag presented by Milwaukee is once again waving here at Daytona. Adam Stewart in that number 4 machine gets a really good run. Will quickly get down in front of Tyler Bentley in that inside lane. And that's going to leave that number 21 machine of I'm sorry, that number 11 machine of Christopher Darling to his lonesome self, as he finally gets picked up here by, I believe that was the 54 machine of Brandon Cooper. Yeah, that is Brandon Cooper in that 54, and Craig Wood in that 67 also hanging tight on that outside lane. You know, that's kind of where I've seen Craig Wood all day, is up in that top lane, as he's falling back to the back to the front. But he's really enjoyed himself on that outside lane, and it's worked out for him for the most part, keeping him out of trouble. So he's trying to make that outside lane work now for him, as there's a little bit of a separation between your race leader and that 55 of Tyler Bentley. And that's going to slow down that inside lane just a little bit, as that outside lane is exactly nose to tail, and they're going to get one heck of a push down this back straightaway, as you see that 11 Christopher Darling taking over the race lead briefly up here in turns 3 and 4. And let me tell you what, Brandon Cooper all over the back bumper of that number 11 machine. Darling, you better be holding on for dear life, because I don't think that 54 of Cooper is lifting anytime soon. I mean, knowing that you have to make at least one more pit stop, you can go ahead and go full throttle, you know. So, I mean, it's pretty much go time here, as that 54 gets a little bit of a run on the outside, has to back off. So that's going to slow down that outside lane now. And they're going to fall back to just about that 4th or 5th spot. But so far, they're doing pretty decent up here, trying to get that outside lane back moving again towards the front. As we fall back here a little bit through the field, that 92 machine of Ryan Catalano, he's got stuck 3 wide briefly, as he made his way back into the inside lane. As we come back up here to the front, we have one driver falling to the back. Looks like it's possibly... yeah, that was Christian Ruse in that number 14 machine. He started to fall back there, as they had to go 3 wide. And now that outside lane is kind of all over the place, not making themselves very well put together. And so they're having trouble getting that outside lane moving again. So it's just going to be a moment of time before they do get their act together and start moving back towards the front of this field. Adam Stewart in that number 4 machine is holding on strong to the race lead for now. As you see, I believe that was Kleinsma in that number 15 get all the way down on underneath the yellow line here in the Trioval, as he's trying to make his way now back up through that inside lane, back up into that where are you at, third spot now. So they're definitely starting to move up in, but that outside lane starting to fall back again now. There's running side by side for just about that 5th or 6th spot with Facanato in that number 25 machine. And Tim Henderson in that 21, he's trying to make something happen on that outside, as he is now getting a really good push, and now he's running alongside 4th place of Tim Henderson, as he is starting to make their way back towards the front of this field. Henderson getting a really good push here out of Blake Howell in that number 19 machine. And Trey Whitehead, he's slowly made his way back up here to the front, as he's made his way up into the 8th spot for the moment, as these drivers will climb up into the bankings of turns 3 and 4 here once again. It looked like that 62 was possibly thinking of jumping to the outside, but notice that that outside lane was just a little too far back. And so they're just going to continue to run single or double wide here instead of trying to make any sort of movement. But they are catching up quickly to a lap down car. And I believe that's going to be Cameron Coster in that number 2 machine. As we are now seeing 3 lines begin to form here at Daytona. 3 lines about 3 rows deep. This is not what these drivers need at this moment, but yeah, they are 3 wide, 3 rows deep. That outside lane way up against the wall starting to dissipate to the back, led by Blake Howell there, as there's like a, I don't know who's choosing what lane here, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, heads up, you guys have a lap car down coming, so we're gonna have to really suck in these cars and possibly go 4 wide. So this is going to be very interesting to see what's happening, as they are quickly coming up on that 2 machine of Cameron Coster, as luckily they did catch him here on the back straightaway, so they can actually make a little adjustment, go down below that yellow line briefly to get around safely. And that will be the case, but that number 19 of Blake Howell, he's not done yet on that outside lane as he's trying to make a move. One car is absolutely falling back right now, and that is Matt Mittler in that number 51. He is up into the outside wall, and we do have a caution out right in front of Matt. The 8 car is around, but whatever happened, it happened in front of these drivers, as Chris Reese comes to a stop here down on the inside. So Chris Reese having a really good success early on, having issues here in turns 1 and 2. Let's come back here, take a look, see what happened. As they climb up here into the turn. Oh, he just got absolutely loose into turn number 1. That shot him down the track, and hold on for dear life. The 35, he gets into the back of the 65. The 54 goes up to clear him, but the 11 is up there, 14 into the wall. And there goes the 62 now sliding right in front. Whoa! Contact! Thought the 19 was going to be able to clear him, but did not get him cleared. And he got hit right up into that number 5 machine. As you see the 8 in the background, as we saw that part live. So let's go ahead and come back, watch that one more time, full speed. Man, that was really good heads up driving by everybody behind him. Really, really good heads up driving there. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We are getting ready to end this race. 29 laps to go. Next week, right here on the iCast Racing Network, we are heading to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for another heart-pounding, fast-paced laps over there. And then 2 weeks from there, on February 4th, we're heading over to Michigan for the Looney Tunes special. So we're absolutely excited for that race, 100%. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get through right here at Daytona. Out front currently is Chris Otto for Hubka Motorsports in his number 88 Redline Racing Network machine. Or I think it's either Jeffrey Kleinsma. I'm not 100% sure who's out front anymore. But all I know is those two drivers are going to bring the field to the green flag here, as we're going to have 28 laps to go here at Daytona. So hold on tight, guys. We are almost to the end of this beautiful madness race. And the green flag is out right here, once again, presented by Milwaukee. Jeffrey Kleinsma out to a very quick early lead. Chris Otto, he will quickly jump to the inside lane. As Kleinsma decides to figure out what lane he wants to do, he's going to stay to the inside. As you see, Tim Henderson in that number 21 machine getting pushed by the 54 of Brandon Cooper. But Tyler Bentley in that 55, he's going to join up there with that. Oh, the 54 gets shoved out of the way. They are three wide. They're pushing and shoving. That whole entire inside lane is starting to stack it up, but they're going to keep themselves single file and keep everybody facing in the right direction. What an incredible save there on what could have been another big one here at Daytona with 28 laps to go. 27 now, this time by. That was some really good heads-up driving by the entire field, and not, causing a really big one after Brandon Cooper in that 54 machine got shoved to the outside lane. Tried to get it back in line, but it didn't really work out. But as of right now, that 34 machine, Ryan White, leading that outside lane, is absolutely not going anywhere. He's still drawing back as they go three wide behind him with Blake Howell and that number 40, I believe, of Charles Whitehead. They're going to go ahead and get themselves situated as you see Brandon Cooper in that 54 machine now coming back to the outside up to that third spot. He's getting one heck of a push out of that number 34 of Ryan White now, as they are now side by side for third spot with Jeffrey Kleinsma, as he's going to try now to get a good push to get up alongside Tim Henderson, but so far not able to make it happen. Here they come down the back straightaway, back up into the high banks here in turns 3 and 4 once again. Still doing a fantastic job on that outside lane, not letting that inside lane move up any further than they already have, as they are now looking to go three wide behind them, right back there for just about that 13th, 14th spot. Still three wide racing behind them. This is not what you want to see late in this race. Okay, I guess it is what you want to see, but you don't really want to go three wide, because that definitely blocks every single lane you have to choose from, as these drivers are now running side by side about 3 or 4 rows deep, three wide. And as you see, Matt Mettler coming up that middle lane here as well. Slight contract between the number 25 and the 14, as the 14 is making his way up through the inside lane. The 19 coming down into the middle lane now, leaving that single car to his lonesome self on the outside here. Slight movement out of that 60 machine of Zach Woods, as they continue to run three wide back here for right about that 20th spot. Really good racing back here in the back of this field. Christian Roos trying to hold strong on that inside lane, trying to get around Ryan Catalano in that number 92 machine and the number 10. Justin Hutchinson here as well. Hutchinson he's doing actually pretty good, hanging by himself for the moment. But this time by, he has now fallen back. He's going to finally try to drop down in line, which he will. But coming back up to the front, Dalton McKenney in that number 46. He will take over the race lead as they come out of the tri-oval. And they're looking to go now 3 wide for that third spot. 3 wide up here in the bakings of turns 1 and 2 for that third spot. 2 rows deep. Change that. Make it 3 rows deep. Now you know we are inside 25 laps to go, as these drivers are now going to risk it all to get to the front, as these drivers are now going to run 3 wide, 3 rows deep, right back here for just about that 4th spot. Trouble in the back. 55 is around. Hold on, everybody. The yellow flag presented by Muffler Man is out here once again for the 11th time. As you see, Caleb Collins facing the outside wall there. As you see, quite a few drivers now pulling away. Rylan Falconato, he's involved here. Thad Teasley involved. Jeff Klinsma involved here as well. Ryan Catalano. Matt Davies, he's down here pit road now to getting work done on his machine. The 55 absolutely destroyed. That's Tyler Bentley. He's overshot his pit just a little bit from that damage. And he's going to go ahead and get that damage fixed and get 4 fresh tires on that number 55. Let's go back. Let's take a look. See what happened as they were running 3 wide. I believe it might have started just a little bit more in front. Yeah, it looks like that inside lane just absolutely checked up due to the 32 machine, and the 55 gets turned to the outside. The 10 machine comes down on the 19, and that's just where the rest of this pure chaos just absolutely goes, crazy. 35, Wes Fuller trying to get around the wreckage here. The 23 finally loops it here a little bit later on. But it looked like everybody pretty much got unscathed in this one except for for Brandon Cooper. But yeah, just very unfortunate here. A big old stack up right there. And just pure chaos taking place on the exit of turn number 4. Alrighty. And this is going to bring Charles Childress in that number 24 Valvoline Chevrolet back on to the lead lap. And he will be your WeltsClothing.com lucky dog driver for caution number 11 here at Daytona. I want to give Matt Metler a big shout out here. And that number 51 Red Line Racing Network, Red Line Racing Team number 51. Matt Metler, owner of Red Line Racing Network. Man, let me tell you what, he absolutely has the voice for broadcasting. I'm absolutely jealous of it. But what an up and down day here for Matt Mettler in that number 51 Toyota. He's fallen to the back, came fighting back to the front, fallen back again, fought his way back to the front, and now here he is with 20 laps to go, sitting up in that second spot right behind Dalton McKinney. But I also want to give out a shout out to Dalton McKinney as well in that number 46 Sundrop machine for Threat Level Midnight Motors machine. I know that he got caught up a couple times already. You know, in a couple wrecks early on, and I mean, he's come all the way back up here in that number 46 machine, just absolutely leaving everybody in the dust. And I definitely believe he might be a threat here today when this thing comes down to it. So it's going to be definitely very interesting to see what happens here in the closing laps here at Daytona. All right, so we are coming to 19 laps to go. Everybody should be able to make it to the end here. Well, everybody about 12th or 11th on back, as they pitted back on lap 109, so they should be okay. But we are green flag racing here once again, as Dalton McKinney, he actually spun his tires a little bit, caused that outside lane to check up just a tad, but that didn't deter anybody from hitting the throttle, as you see Dalton McKinney still getting a phenomenal run. Here comes Christian Ruse taking on the inside, but the 19, he's going to stay up there with Dalton McKinney. But here comes Matt Mettler now trying to get to the back bumper here of that number 14 of Christian Ruse, which he will finally get to that back bumper. But they've already fallen all the way back to just about that 4th or 5th spot, as they go 3 wide now here for that 5th spot. And so we are now once again in a 3 wide situation here at Daytona, coming to 18 laps to go. And we are looking, we have trouble in the back here once again. Noah Jackson in that number 87 machine having issues here once again. Caleb Collins involved in this one. Tom Bourne also possibly involved. I'm showing Mark Gonzalez in that number 8 machine. He's involved as well. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's go back, take a look, see what brought out this this latest caution here. Coming here into the trial, as I was watching the race leaders, I thought I caught something in the corner of my eye, and sure enough, you see that 8 machine getting turned here in the trial, and that just changed everything here. The 8 car up into the outside wall. The 47 coming, or I'm sorry, the 87 coming across the Valvoline machine had absolutely nowhere to go in this one as well. But a lot of good drivers here slowing down to avoid the madness. Yeah, okay, so I believe only maybe about 3 cars were involved in this one, which is not bad at all. already, and I believe that's going to do it right now for our Lucky Dog candidates, I believe. Because that 17 might have gotten a little contact here under that last caution, so Luna Albright will go ahead and probably stay 2 laps down here. Coming over here to Tim Henderson should definitely go on board. The 21 may have left a skid mark in my seat. I'm not sure if you're talking about this last caution or the caution before, but we got a couple moments. Let's go ahead and track down that number 21 machine. Yeah, let's go ahead and ride on board here. Whoa! That was close, Tim. How close? Y'all, it was this close. Yeah, that doesn't even do it justice. Hang on, let me find a better view. Because that definitely doesn't do any sort of justice here. Hang on. Oh, you know what view will do it justice? It'll be this one right here. Watch this. Watch this. I got you. Oh, yeah. Coming here into the tri-oval contact in front. Yikes. And he got hit from behind by that number 5 machine of Chris Hubka. There it is. Man. So definitely a little bit of netcode there going on for that number 21, but regardless, that was really friggin' close. No, so I lied. Your lucky dog this time was Luna Albright in that number 17 Mobile 1 Toyota Camry for Hula Monkey Motorsports. So big, huge congratulations here to Luna. Not back on the lead lap just yet. They are still one more lap down, and now they're in the fight with Charles Whitehead, Mark Gonzalez, Caleb Collins to get back onto the lead lap if we do have another caution. Alright, so we're going to double up these guys. We're going to do it all over again. Blake Howell on the outside. Dalton McKinney on the inside. Christian Ruse, Zach Woods, Brock Whitehead, Matt Mettler, Ryan White, Wes Fuller, Greg Wood, and Patrick McQuaid will round out your top 10 on this restart, as these drivers are going to make their way back up here into turn 3 and 4. And we're going to come down to just about 14 laps to go here at Daytona. And I mean, I think we're going to have an amazing race here to the finish. Alrighty, guys, it is time to go green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Into the United Rentals restart zone. Green flag is out here once again, presented by Milwaukee. as these drivers will climb up through their gears once again. 14 laps to go here at Daytona. Why are we having blinking issues on my end? That's not normal, as these drivers will come side by side for the race lead. Blake Howell, he will leave that 46 machine high and dry on the outside. And Zach Woods, he's going to go with him on the inside here as they come flying down the back straightaway. Still, now these drivers are jockeying for position as they will start climbing up through the bakings here in turns 3 and 4. As we do got one car trying to make it 3 wide to the outside. Another car now trying to make it happen back there as well. Not exactly. Let's come back here a little bit, see if we can catch who that is. I believe that might be Noah Jackson. No, it's not Noah in that number 87 machine. Back there with the 18, so that just might be... Yeah, that was Jeffrey Kleinsma trying to make something happen on the outside. Not able to get there. But we're going to jump back up here to our front lead. As right now, Blake Howell, Christian Ruse, and Dalton McKinney are making their way through the front lead here. And the 14, he will make a run on the inside of Blake Howell, leaving Blake to the outside. Slight contact between the top 4 drivers as they will come across start-finish line. 12 laps to go this time by. Right now, it is in the hands of Blake Howell with Dalton McKinney pushing very strong on the outside lane here. Nobody else really having much of anywhere to go. So as of right now, Christian Ruse trying to hold on. Zach Woods trying to push Christian back to the front of this field. Not able to do anything with it just yet, as they will now come fly down the back. We have a caution out here. Once again, hard contact. A bunch of cars involved here. As it looks like. It looks like Zach Woods is involved in this one. Ryan White, Charles Childress, Ryan Catalano involved. Tom Bourne's going to be involved in this one. The 55. Tyler Bentley. Matt Metler possibly involved here as well. Chris Hubka in that number 5 machine. He had to go ahead and jump it to pit road. Let's go ahead and come back here. Let's try to see if we can digest what happened here. Oh, the 51 tried to self-clear. He definitely was not clear. He got into the 34. 34 came down, got into the 60. And that's where pure chaos absolutely erupted. And along with my computer, it said absolutely nope. As you see 10 cars just pile in there. And my computer says, what in the world is going on? And it decides to have itself a little heart attack of its own. And I think that is my cue to go ahead and go restart my sim here once again. So we're going to go ahead and go back to a brief commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to finish this thing up right here at Daytona International Speedway for the Crawford 325 for the Race Wrap Guy Cup Series right here on the iCast Racing Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway, as we are coming to the final 8 laps right here for the EOL Race Wrap Guy Cup Series for Season 6, round number 1, right here on iCast Racing Network, presented by Top It Off Hot Sauce. Remember, go and head over to topitoffsauce.com. Topitoffsauce.com using the promo code EOL15, get 15% off your entire order, ladies and gentlemen. You can't beat it. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing back green flag racing right here once again at Daytona. Blake Howell, Dalton McKinney will bring the field to the green flag, presented by Milwaukee. And we are green flag racing once again here at Daytona. And that outside lane absolutely gets a phenomenal start as Dalton McKinney, he's going to fall back to just about that 3rd spot as he is now getting his car wound up, and that 14 Christian Ruse is now trying to get to his back bumper. And that 35 of Wes Fuller, he was looking to possibly try to take it to the outside of the 2 on the outside lane, but thought better of it. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are already looking to go 3 wide here down the back straightaway as we are now in the closing laps here. 3 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows deep on that outside lane. Who else is going to try to stick their nose 3 wide as we are now 4 wides deep on the outside lane? Now, make that 6 as we have contact. The 18, he's around. Peyton Halling, he's around. The 40 involved here once again. The 40 of Charles Whitehead, he's here involved. Peyton Halling involved here as well. Thad Teasley in that number 33 machine having issues here as well. Let's go ahead and go back, take a look, see what happened as they headed up here into, or out of the trioval. The Ford and the 40 decided to move towards each other. Holland, absolutely a innocent bystander in this whole ordeal, as he will come back across the track, get into that 10 machine, and that's going to turn the 10 machine right back up in front of that number 40 and the 4 machine, and that's going to send Charles Whitehead absolutely spinning up here in turns 1 and 2. The 10 car just along for the ride at this point. Very unfortunate for those drivers. The 10 and the 4 making hard contact to that outside wall here once again. And just look at that. Who was it? The 33 just coming to a screech. Bouncing down the track. Let's come back here and take a look at what he saw. So he was able to slow it up, and then he tried to avoid the 40, just not able to do it. As you see that banking just drive his 33 back down the track. And that's exactly what these 32 degree of banking does to any car that is pretty much sitting at no miles an hour in the middle of the track. It will just make your car slide down. Unless if you're pushed up against that outside wall and you're tucked up against it, you're just going to be sliding down the track. So that's actually a really good view there. It's been quite a while to actually see it happen. But it sure did happen to that 33 of the rookie Thad Teasley. All right, so the lights on the pace car are still on as we have Caleb Collins in that 72, your lucky dog of this caution. That's going to bring Caleb Collins back onto the lead lap. And as long as he can finish on the lead lap, he will be registered for a drawing at the end of the season by Welt's Clothing. So the 72 going to go ahead and come down. Might as well go ahead and get fresh tires if you've got it for the final 3 laps here. As we come back up here and catch up with our race leaders, Blake Howell in that number 19 machine doing a very fantastic job keeping it up front the final 15 laps or so. That number 31, Brock Whitehead, he's finally making up some noise up here, but he's got a lot of damage to that front end, so how is that going to affect his drive to try to get around the 19 for the race lead? West Fuller in that number 35 machine, he's had a pretty up and down day. Yeah, I thought so. Then Brock is with Whitehead Racing, so you got TTR running first and third. Dalton McKinney for Threat Level Midnight Motorsports. He's trying to make a threat in that number 46 machine. Greg Wood for Spin Move Racing in his number 67. Started on the pole, been very fast all day, and he's looking to go flag to flag here. Let's see what he can do to get that 67 machine back out front. Brandon Cooper in that number 54 Callaway Apex Chevrolet. He's looking to make some moves. Christian Ruse has been very quiet, but slowly making his way back up here towards the front. I believe he might be a good contender here in the closing couple laps. Tim Henderson in that number 21 has been a quiet dark horse all day for I-90 Performance Racing. So it's very possible to see that 21 start making moves from that 8th spot. Trey Whitehead, always very strong. So we're still waiting to see him make his move up here towards the front, restarting in that 9th spot. And Patrick McQuaid for Hubka Motorsports in that number 77 Muffler Man Chevrolet. He's now trying to make his way back to the front. But ladies and gentlemen, as we take the green flag, we're going to have only 3 laps to go. We do have a couple green-white checkers to our name. So, will these drivers need to use it, or will they going to go ahead and end it now for the final 3 laps? This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it comes down to. We are looking to end the Crawford 325 right here at Daytona on this final restart. Blake Howell, Brock Whitehead looking to make it happen here at Daytona as we are back green flag racing. The inside lane not moving very well as they are having to move in and dive around to avoid each other coming up through the gears. Christian Ruse in that 14 having issues on that restart, but quickly getting back to the back bumper of Greg Wood here. As you see those drivers back here in the back trying to make moves. We are now 3 wide back for that, back here right around that 10th spot. Why not? Let's make this happen. Muffler Man heading up top. He's looking to go 3 wide in that number 77 machine, but nobody's going with him at this moment. He's going to need to try to sneak his way back down to the inside. 2 laps to go this time by. 1 car down on the apron. This could spell chaos. 4 wide back here. Contact. The 60 car climbing up the bankings here in turns 1 and 2. 3 wide. Back here with, I believe that's Matt Metler back here. Now, Dalton McKinney in that 46 contact. 2 drivers now falling all the way back. That's going to be, oh, more trouble here on the back straightaway. That's going to bring out our caution. 1 car facing the wrong way. And that's going to be that 12 machine of Brett Bullard as they come heading into turn number 3. But we're going to go back and look at Dalton McKinney in that number 46 machine right before that caution came out. He moved high to make a block. It didn't stick, so he came back down. But the 19 had a run on the inside, and that absolutely just brought those 2 drivers around. But this is not what brought out our caution. The caution came out because of Brett Bullard in that number 12 machine getting turned off the front of the 87. And that is where pure chaos took place. Everybody doing a fantastic job making it around those crashing cars, except for the 60 unfortunate bystander. Mark Gonzalez getting a little bit of contact there along with that number 25 machine. But other than that, this is a pretty decent, advantage or movement from a lot of these drivers. So, really good heads-up driving here by a lot of these drivers. Brett Bullard falling all the way back to that 29th spot. Very unfortunate there. Yeah, that's going to bring... I'm assuming Dalton McKinney hit the inside wall. I want to come back here real quick, take a look at that. Let's go ahead and finish staying on these 2 drivers. Let's see what happened once they got here to the inside. Yeah, as they both pound hard into that inside wall. So that possibly ended Dalton McKinney's day there. But that number... who went down there with him? Yeah, Blake Howell. He's still got a lot of heavy damage on the front end of that number 19 machine, as you see it wobbling in the wind there. So, definitely very unfortunate here for Blake Howell as well. But he is down here on pit road trying to get service finished up on that machine to get his car back out here on track. Not sure if they're going to be able to get the job done, but they're definitely going to try to see what they can do about getting all that damage fixed. As we see Adam Stewart in that number 4 machine starting to leave his pit stall. Definitely very unfortunate there, but we're going to go ahead and use up one of our green-white checkers here. All right, so Brock Whitehead decides he's going to choose that outside lane. Let's see how this is going to work out for him. To his inside, Brandon Cooper for Hubka Motorsports. Tim Henderson for I-90 Performance Racing snuck his way up into that 4th spot. And Wes Fuller for TTR is in the 4th spot here. So, or 3rd spot now. So this is very interesting. 4 different race teams at the front of this field as we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing for our first of, I believe, 3 green white checkered attempts. Yep, we do have 3 green white checkered attempts. As you see the oh, what a view. All right, guys, get your picks in. Who do you think is absolutely just going to steal the race today? Will Brock Whitehead, with a damaged race car, be able to hold off these 29 race cars behind him? Will Brandon Cooper in the 54 get a good run here on the restart to be able to take over the top spot heading into turn number 1? What are your thoughts? What's your choices? Let me hear them. As we're going to go ahead and get this pace car down off of the racetrack. Whitehead, Cooper into the United Rentals restart zone. And we are green flag racing once again right here at Daytona. Good start here by Brock Whitehead as he is waiting to get a good push here from Tim Henderson in that number 21 machine, which he will, as they will clear that 54 on the inside of Brandon Cooper, but they're going to stay right there to the outside. 3 wide already for that 5th spot. The drivers actually spread out a little bit more than what they have been all day on restarts, but for that 4th spot, they are side by side. The 31, Brock Whitehead, holding it on as we have a caution behind them, and that's going to bring out our caution. And we're going to stack these guys up and do it again as they're still wrecking here here in turns 3 and 4. A lot of drivers here involved. Adam Stewart, very strong all day. He's finally getting his car to come down to a rest. The 92 of Ryan Catalano involved. The 16 machine. Tom Bourne, Patrick McQuaid in that 77 machine here involved as well. Matt Mettler in that number 51, a lot of damage. Matt Davies in that 32 involved here as well. He is actually missing his front tire. No, it's just really badly pushed. And there it is. It finally swung back around. Who was that? Ryan Catalano in that 92, still having issues. My dude, you are going to need to get a tow to the pits because you are not going to get that 92 Camry back into the pit lane. You've just got way too much damage. Yep, and now he's being told that he needs to go ahead and get it towed. Let's come back here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look one more time, see what happened. So that actually stacked up on the outside. Whitehead getting a really good push there by Henderson. That kind of stacked up the outside, and that's just where all pure chaos. The 77 absolutely just a sitting duck. Wrong place, wrong time here for him. As you see, all these cars starting to pile in up here in turns 3. 77 hard into the outside wall. The 35 head on to the outside wall as well. And pure chaos. The 40 comes flying in. 55 hard onto his brakes, but not able to slow it down enough. So very unfortunate here for these drivers. And that right there is what broke that number 32 machine, I believe. As you see, Matt Mettler sitting down there as well. That 35 machine. Wes Fuller involved here as well. Ugh. Hard contact. Hard on the brake. Very, very unfortunate there for Wes Fuller. As I said, Matt Metler here involved here as well. Had a good strong run on coming on that outside lane. As they start checking up, he just kind of lost it a little bit and hit that outside wall, came back down the track. Very unfortunate for these guys. Let's ride on the board here with Patrick McQuaid. Just minding his own business up here on the top, and this is just a really hurt feeling, just with absolutely nothing you can do here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those moments of just helplessness. You're cruising along, minding your own business on the outside, and then just next thing you know, you're getting spun to the inside. That's just a really I've felt that a time or two myself. It's not a pleasant feeling whatsoever, especially when you're sitting there for the race lead. Next thing you know, you're heading towards the outside wall. It's absolutely no fun. But we're going to line them up. We're going to do it again. We're going to go into our second green-white checkered attempt. This time, a Brock Whitehead, he's going to be on the inside. Tim Henderson, he will be on the outside here. Trey Whitehead in the number 23 machine, he's going to be on back there behind Brock. And then Brandon Cooper, he will be behind Tim Henderson. So we got Whitehead versus Henderson, Cooper. Let's see how this is all going to play out here on this restart. So definitely really good, interesting run this last time by. And we're about to find out what these drivers can do here once again. Look at that damage on the front end of Brock Whitehead. It is going to be absolutely interesting to see how this will play out here for Brock. Will that damage cause him the race win, or will Trey be able to push him to the win? It's all about to go down now as we are green flag racing. Oh, we already have trouble in the back. The 40 is around. The 25 is around as well. Caution's going to come out. And that's going to bring us to our final green-white checkered. So the 25 involved here. The 2 of Cameron Coster involved as well. And we're going to go back, take a look, see once again. Yeah, so we get down here into the restart zone. So they just kind of have a stack up on that outside. And that 25 and the 33 had nowhere to go. And then Cameron Coster, he just slows down to avoid the spinning 33, I believe it was. But he caught up against that outside wall. And unfortunately, it's just one of those... you go to get in it, but the cars in front of you are not moving, and yeah. Chris, Cash, DJ, Khalid, another one. Yes, we are coming down to another green-white checker. This is going to be their final attempt, ladies and gentlemen. So once that green flag drops, whatever the next flag is will end the race. If they can get to the white flag, they will race all the way around to the checkered flag. If they cannot get to the white flag, then that will be the end of the race. And it comes all down to this now. Brock Whitehead, Trey Whitehead will start on the front row of this final restart. Tim Henderson, he's still holding strong in that number 21 machine in that third spot. And Peyton Holland, he had trouble late here in the race. And he's already made his way back up to that fourth spot. Oh, so this is actually going to be pretty interesting. It is 3 Whitehead Racing drivers versus 1 I-90 Performance racing driver. Brandon Cooper for Hubka Motorsports. He's going to be starting behind Tim Henderson. So, this is going to be very interesting, guys. If Whitehead Racing plays their card right, they could get a 1-2-3 finish here at Daytona. And that will be a very, very good start for the team points here in the closing laps. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see, you know, how all this will play out. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, Race Wrap Guys Cup Series presented by Top It Off Hot Sauce Company. Head over to topitoffsauce.com for 15% off of your entire order by using promo code EOL15. You guys should definitely try their raspberry habanero. I believe that's the one it was. Really, really good. I loved it. You guys should definitely try it out. And no, I'm not just saying that because they're sponsored. I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of, like, hot sauce. But that was some pretty good hot sauce. I enjoyed it. Definitely going to have to place another order in with them. And also, our lucky dog is presented by Welt's Clothing. This last time by, I believe, Wes Fuller in that number 35 machine got the lucky dog. So with that being said, we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing here, ladies and gentlemen. These drivers coming out of turn 2. These guys doubling up once again. Whitehead versus Whitehead, front row. Second row, a Whitehead racing driver versus I-90 Performance racing driver. Who will come out on top? 2 laps to decide it. And this is what Daytona is all about. This is what the last 325 plus miles have been about. This is it. This is going to be the y'all buckle up. It is about to get intense. Right now, Whitehead has a 75% chance out of the top 4 drivers to get a win here today. The underdog here is that number 21 machine of Tim Henderson for I-90 Performance. He has a 25% chance out of the top 4 drivers. Pace car is off here once again at Daytona. Final time, the green flag will wave as we go into the United Rental restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Brock Whitehead getting out to a really early jump. He's going to jump up in front of Trey, but here comes that 21 machine of Tim Henderson now. He is getting a good push from Brandon Cooper in that number 45. Now, Trey Whitehead all over the back bumper of Brock Whitehead. Here they come out of turn number 2. Currently, movement, hold on to it, boys. Brockhead, he currently holds on to that top spot. Trey Whitehead giving him everything he's got. But remember, Brock Whitehead has that damage on the front end of that Toyota. Now, Henderson, he will take over that top spot on the exit turn 4. Slight contact. One car going into the inside wall hard. And we are still going to say green flag. Or, yeah, we're going to say green flag racing right here. Brock and Trey Whitehead, they will take it over. Peyton Holland in that number 18 Ghost machine. He's looking to finally make some noise up here in the front. Final lap here at Daytona. Whitehead racing out front. Right now, it is Brock, Trey, Peyton Holland, Christian Ruse. Now, Holland takes a run on the inside. Brock Whitehead, he's going to block. We have more trouble in the back. And now this is it here, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of turn number 4. Brock Whitehead out front. Here comes Peyton Holland trying to make it a run on the outside. It is going to be Brock Whitehead as they come across the line crashing. Peyton Holland in that number 18 will bring it home second. And Tim Henderson is going to be bringing that destroyed number 21 machine if he can get it moving. Yeah, a lot of damage on that number 21 after coming across the line. But a lot of drivers involved in an incident heading up here into turn number 3. So we're going to come back here, try to digest of what happened back there in the back. So let's go back here to this restart. Let me see if I can find it here. All right, so Brandon Cooper first. He got a door slam right, or no, he actually got turned hard into that inside wall there as he will make his way across the grass area. Look at that back end just bounce. As we come back here into turns of 3 or 1 and 2, and so far everything seems to be good and clear here down the back straightaway. And then this is where chaos just absolutely ensues. Let's see if we can get a clear shot of where it happens. Yeah, Mark Gonzalez, he is 3 wide there to the outside, the 34 to his inside as they make contact, more contact, and there goes that 34 machine, Ryan White, hard into the outside wall, the 16 up there with him. I believe one car actually just got DQ'd, probably on incident points there. And that's going to be that 50 or that 67, I believe, of Greg Wood. And then coming here to the line. Hard contact for a couple of these drivers here. Justin Hutchinson, the number 8 machine here of Gonzalez. Blake Howell, unfortunately, getting involved in this one. Before we talk with our top 3 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look here at our race results. Well, that's definitely not our race results. We want these results. There we go. Brock Whitehead. He will bring the win home today for you guys. Peyton Holland in that number 18 machine will bring it home second. Third is going to be Trey Whitehead. Will bring it home third. I need to get verification on that. Because one thing's telling me Tim Henderson and Trey Whitehead is switched. The official results. Oh, yeah. It takes Trey Whitehead to that third spot. So that's going to put Tim Henderson to the fourth spot there. Noah Jackson will be in the fifth spot. Christian Ruse, Justin Hutchinson, Mark Gonzalez, Chris Otto, and Tyler Bentley will round out your top 10. Matt Mettler, Blake Howell, Tom Bourne, Charles Whitehead, Thad Teasley, Jeffrey Kleinsma, Caleb Collins, Rylan Falconato, Zach Woods, Luna Albright, Ryan White, Greg Wood, Brett Bullard, Wes Fuller will round out your top 24. And Brandon Cooper will bring it home 25th. Ryan Catalano, Cameron Coster, Adam Stewart, Patrick McQuaid, Matt Davies, Dalton McKinney, Christopher Darling, Charles Childress, Chris Hubska will bring it home in the 34th spot. And rounding out your field is going to be Chris Reese, Cliff Corrivu, Johnny Williams having some issues there with his internet, and CJ Papa had some issues getting his machine started up here today and unable to make the start of the race. So definitely very unfortunate there. Before we go ahead and come back here and take a look with our race drivers, just want to throw it out there one more time, you guys, if you guys get a moment. Head over to topitoffhotsauce.com for all of your hot sauce needs. And let's go ahead and see what we can do about talking to our top 3 drivers. Yeah, see, it's showing Tim here when it's not Tim Henderson. Yeah, so it's showing, so. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up your third place finisher. Trey Whitehead, finishing third here today. Trey, this is Mike up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so I'm a tad bit confused, and I'm pretty sure Tim Henderson is confused as well, but I'm receiving 2 different results. What results are you showing? Who got third?
It's showing me by 1/100th of a second from what I'm seeing in my standings, and I got that also on Sim Racer Hub, but it was really close.
Yeah, definitely very, very close. Well, congratulations on that third place. Talk about that final restart there. Brock has had a lot of damage to the front end of his race car from getting banged up in a couple of wrecks there. Walk us through that final restart, and were you going to try to pass him at any point, or were you just going to try to make it a 1-2 Whitehead Racing finish here at Daytona?
Yeah, and with Peyton being up here as well as another teammate of ours, I knew we had to control the top line, and my plan was really just to push Brock, and then they had a third lane form up top, and I had to block that because any shot of any of us winning was in jeopardy with them getting beside us. So I had to go up there and get in front of Roos and and Brock and Peyton were able to jump down, and they got a huge push. I was pedal to the metal with Roos pushing me. My car was so out of control, I couldn't even get a run, and them two were able to race it out to the line. And like you said, Tim almost got me at the line, but I mean that was just an insane race all the way through. Yeah, I can't be more proud of our team effort. And with me being a part timer, I mean, third place isn't going to hurt me at all. And I'm just glad to see it come to fruition. So,
Yeah, definitely for sure. Sorry about that. Yeah, just what a phenomenal day here for Whitehead Racing all around. So it's a 1-2-3 finish for Whitehead. Um, just really what a really good way to start off the season. As you said, with you only being a part time, all these points are going to matter at the end of the season. Next week we're heading to Las Vegas. Will we see you at Las Vegas, or is that going to be one of the races that you will miss?
no, I'll probably sit out a couple weeks and figure it out. I think the other two races I plan on running are like Iowa and Texas. I'm not sure which one comes first. So, only making 3 starts this year in the regular season, and I'm leaving the playoffs up for the full time guys. But yeah, I'm just excited to be, it's weird to say, but not in the race car and being able to kind of look at everything from a team standpoint and help out with mid race stuff for the Facebook page and everything. So it'd be pretty cool to have that different perspective. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm just confident in every single one of our guys to go out there next week and have a strong run like they did tonight. So.
Yeah, definitely. And before we let you go here today, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Yeah, we've got Banfield Pet Hospital on the car, and then Blue Buffalo, which is also my dogs. They enjoy that food. Ghost Energy on Peyton's car. We got Travels by JD, huge sponsor on Brock's car, sponsored my championship winning car last year. We got Body Armor on Ryan White's car, Coors Light on my dad's, and Bush Light on Matt Davies. And I don't think I missed anybody else, but you for putting the broadcast on, Hubka for being a great admin. I can't express how glad I am to be a part of that admin team, and everybody tonight. I mean, I thought that opening run tonight was pretty good. Yeah, we had some, it was a caution-filled race after that, but I thought the racing itself was really solid. So I'm just excited to see what's ahead for these guys.
Yeah, definitely very good start to the season. Rough here at the end, but you know what? It was still a very phenomenal performance out of these drivers. Well, Trey, congratulations on your third place finish. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down, and we'll see you next time you come out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, driver that number 21 Toyota, 23 Toyota Trey Whitehead. I want to go ahead and bring up let's go ahead and bring up Peyton Holland. Peyton Holland, driver of that number 18 Toyota for Whitehead Racing. Peyton, what an incredible run for you today here at Daytona. I know that you did get involved in a couple issues early on, but man, you came back fighting like that Ghost Energy drink on your car. Talk about your day and what was going through your mindset that last restart with Brock and Trey around you.
Well, I had a great race. I got to thank my teammates. Brock, Trey, Ryan, Davies, Charles. They're great. Got to thank Chris, crew chief. But now beginning of the race, it was great. Green flag for about 30 laps, and then after that, after the caution started happening, I just kind of laid back, and then as soon as I about lap 80-ish, I was like, man, I want to get to the front, and about that time is when I got involved in all the wrecks, so that's about my luck. But I pulled through. I had that one I was involved in really close to the end, and I was just telling myself, I was like, man, I was telling the boys in there, I was like, hey, I got to get up here, I'll try to do what I can do, and it kind of worked out. I still got involved in some stuff, but I just squeezed through, didn't get too much damage, and we got super lucky with getting all lined up on the inside, and then the caution immediately, unfortunately, and then we all got lined up again and worked out. Sucks I couldn't get the win. I can't be frustrated with second, but I probably would be frustrated if it wasn't my teammate there. But no, it was a great race. Had a lot of fun. I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, so next week we are heading to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What is your experience over at Las Vegas? Are you strong there? What's your thoughts about trying to bring home back-to-back top podium finishes?
Well, last season, I did terrible last season. Just not my fault. I had a fuel run first race, I believe, and that just messed me up. Second race, I don't even think I made it past halfway. I think I got wrecked out, meatballed immediately. So that's just unfortunate. But I do like the mile and a half. So I do think I'm stronger there than most other tracks. So I think it'd be fun. I'm not sure if it's a night or a day race, but I usually tend to do better in night races if it is. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what my boys can do. See if we can all go get the podium again.
Yeah, definitely. And before I let you go today, Peyton, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Want to thank Trey. Trey's putting everything together. He made this beautiful Ghost Energy scheme. Thank all my teammates. Unfortunate some of them couldn't finish the race, but thank you by watching. I know my mom was watching, so shout out to her. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Shout out to you. Awesome broadcast. I'm ready to lay down in my bed and watch it to go to bed.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy it. So Trey, I know that we touched base a little bit last week, and it was showing up as Whitewood for you last week, and I messaged you saying it was all taken care of, and I'm sitting here going through it, and I'm talking about through the race. And let's go Trey Whitewood. What? Somehow it got changed again, so I had to change it back to Whitehead. So I apologize to you a couple times in broadcast as well for when you go back to watch it.
Well, I'll make sure to tell Trey that.
Oh man, it was actually quite funny. I forgot to tell
No.
Trey about that. Yeah.
Yep.
So all right,
But
well Peyton, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations on your second finish. I'm sorry, got myself confused there for a second.
no, it's all good. It's
Um,
all good.
but yeah, we'll see you
But
next week in Las Vegas, and go enjoy this 1-2-3 victory.
I will. I appreciate it.
Hey Trey, this is Mike up in the booth one more
Yes.
time. So I got confused and I forgot who I was talking to for a second. Trey, remember that conversation we had last week about it coming up as Whitewood and everything like that? Well, I changed it,
Yeah.
and at the beginning of this race, it changed back to Whitewood.
That's so weird.
So I changed it again on my side, and I apologize to you about 3 or 4 times in broadcast, but I want to let you know that.
Oh,
So
yeah, we'll be fine.
So you know what? It's official. I'm gonna start calling you Whitewood from now on.
I guess it has to stick, yeah.
But I just wanted to touch base on that with you. I actually just told it to Peyton, getting confused on who I was talking to for a second. I'm like, wait a second. So, well,
No, you're good.
let me go and throw you back down. Congratulations again
All
on
right.
your 3rd place.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up Brock Whitehead, driver of that number 31 Toyota. Brock, I have some notes here, and I want to read this off to you, and I want you to tell me how accurate this is. Brock Whitehead always qualifies strong, stays up front, and very aggressive. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Besides tonight, this is the least aggressive that I've ever been under super speedway. Usually I'm up in the top at least 10 the whole time, but tonight was very different. So I was definitely not used to that, but yeah, usually that's pretty true.
Yeah. So that's the notes that Hubka gave me for our grade walk this at the start of this race, and I was watching you, and sure enough, I mean, you've got. I don't know if you went back and looked at the front end of your car when you got out, but man, you had a lot of damage on the front end of that number 31 Toyota. How did you manage to hold off the entire field that final restart with that much damage?
Yeah, so earlier in the race, I had got through a wreck and just got pushed from behind and got it was like 7.5 minutes worth of damage. Just was able to get it all fixed, unfortunately, with all those cautions, but fortunately for me. But yeah, just had Trey, my brother, behind me, and then Peyton on, I think it was on the outside. Or no, Peyton was behind me, Trey on the outside, and just got the good jump and jumped up, and Trey just pushed me, and then we were coming to the white, and I had seen them getting a 3rd lane going, and Peyton jumped down, so then my other only choice was to jump down. The top had kind of died out a little bit. And then, yeah, so this I mirror drove the whole back stretch into 3 and 4, and then once Peyton tried to go around me, he's a teammate, but a win's a win. I know he's gonna be a little upset. I'll send him some beer money or something, but definitely didn't want to do that to a teammate. But like I said, a win is a win, and at the end of the day, like you said, notices that I'm aggressive, and I'll do what I can to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And this definitely, I believe this will lock you into your chase later on this year. So I mean, for you, the season's still not over, even though you're in the chase. You still got to get all the way to the final race, or the final 4 races, I should say, to decide the top 4 that will run for the championship. What's your thoughts already, now that you got Daytona out of the way? What's your thoughts about the rest of the season, and are you going to be playing point race, or are you still going to go out there and try to win every single week?
Oh, I'm gonna try to go win every single week. That's how I look at it. I don't want to just ride around. I want to try to get the win when I can, and at least finish the race. Because points do matter. I know I don't remember how the format is this year. But yeah, just because it's one win doesn't mean I'm gonna quit trying to win. So hopefully I'm more up front again, and this isn't the only one.
Yeah, definitely. And before I let you go today, Brock, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody over at Whitehead Racing, all my teammates, Trey for painting my car, Travels by JD for sponsoring the car. Go check him out on Facebook before you do anything. Hotel stay, vacation stay, cruise, anything you can think of, air travel. He'll print your booking out and everything. Have a gift in the room on your cruise and other stuff like that. Hubka for putting the league on, and you for broadcasting.
Yeah, it's definitely my honor. And the last 3 weeks I've had with you guys have been very interesting here in Daytona. But I'm ready to get out of Daytona, head over to Las Vegas, and I can't wait to see what you can do in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, well, congratulations on your race win, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 31 machine, Brock Whitehead. So, all around, ladies and gentlemen, what a phenomenal last 3 weeks. As I have said, tonight we have seen it all. We had amazing dual races to get to this point. And next week, we're going to start off the season away from Daytona, starting over at Las Vegas for round number 2 of the Race Wrap Guys Cup Series, presented by Top It Off Hot Sauce. Again, guys, go check those guys out. Top It Off Hot Sauce for all of your hot sauce needs. Definitely use that promo code EOL for 15% off. So EOL 15%. TopItOffSauce.com. Go check them out, ladies and gentlemen. And we also want to put out a big thank you to Lucky Dog, or the Lucky Dog sponsor, WeltsClothing.com. WeltsClothing.com. Go check them out. We want to thank them so very much. And we also want to thank all of our other sponsors as well. Milwaukee. We want to thank Muffler Man. We want to thank this race sponsor as well. Crawford for sponsoring this race here at Daytona. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, again, we are heading to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as these drivers go and attack this 1.5-mile long sweeping racetrack, as we will go run for the Southern Sim Graphics 260 live right here on the iCast Racing Network. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth. And until next time, always remember, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you do in life, have fun doing it. And if it's not fun, go make it fun. Until next week, live from Las Vegas, you guys have yourself a beautiful, amazing time zone. Take care.
A production of the iCast Racing Network powered by iRacing. Thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for notifications for all of our live events right here on YouTube and Twitch. We would like to thank SDK Gaming for their production overlays that makes this event enjoyable. Until next time, happy time zones.